This space addresses very personal and vulnerable life topics delivered with an element of comedy that many will find repulsive. This is also an incredibly spiritual podcast born through the experiences of an oracle, a house witch, and a unicorn. It is intended for open-minded adults only. Maturity is not required. Welcome to the Spectral Expansion Experience. Come grow with me. See. We're recording now.
Oh, my profile. Okay.
So, this is our first podcast.
Yes.
Okay. So, here we go.
Here we.
There might be some dog interruptions, and I do apologize. No, you know what? I don't. We're at home.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So, let me go ahead and see what's going on here.
Okay.
Good thing for editing.
Thank goodness.
Not that we need to. There will not be a lot of editing on this show. Welcome to the Spectral Expansion Experience, by the way. I'm Amanda.
Oh,
you got it?
Hey, y'all. No. And I'm Cheryline.
AKA Mandy and Dumplin.
Yes. Yup.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone.
I'm going to say that a lot until I get used to.
I think you should always say it because it's like welcome in case you just tuned in.
Oh, right. How many minutes do we keep that going for?
You know,
do we say for the first
like
7 minutes?
Yeah, like
that
a loop.
Every 60 seconds,
Yeah.
every 67 seconds, I'm going to say welcome.
There you go, like a loop. Yes.
Even if I've moved on to, I'm just going to
by
stop,
the way,
stop,
welcome.
pause. Welcome if you're just tuning in. And so there I was at the bar.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll consider that. I'm going to write that down. Welcome.
Welcome.
That'll be my note.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have any
Taking
notes.
So what is this podcast about? I'll tell you what this podcast is about.
You tell it.
Ask me.
What is this podcast about?
Well, it's about the full moon in Cancer. Guess what today is?
Well, I think I know, but tell us anyway.
Okay, it's the full moon in Cancer.
Yay! So what does that mean?
Lots of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, it means lots of stuff. So first of all, Cancer, people, if you're tuning in, I am not an astrologist. I do all my research before each podcast. I am a tarot reader and a seer, oracle, house witch, unicorn. This is my other one.
Yeah.
Wait. How would a unicorn sound?
They probably laugh. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So anyway, it's the full moon in Cancer. And what that means for today is that this is a time of intense healing. Mm-hmm. This is a big moon. So if we're talking ancestral traumas, past traumas, stuff coming up, things that you've maybe been repressing. So Cancer invites us into emotional stability.
Yes.
That's the balance side of Cancer. It invites us into emotional stability. And so Cancer is a water sign, water being all about the emotions, being about, and even our gifts, our extrasensory gifts. And so our psychic abilities, things like that. So that really taps into Cancer. But Cancer really asks you to dive in deep and to go to the places that are scary to go.
The deep, dark waters.
The deep, dark. Yes. But you know what?
What?
I'm taking a friend.
Hey, here we go.
Like, you want to go scuba diving?
Sure do.
I mean, I'll do this.
Yeah, I'll do it too if you go. I'll go.
Right.
Yes,
right.
girl.
Oh, we're coming full moon. We're coming full moon in Cancer.
But what was I gonna say about that? I had a question.
I had a thing too, and I forgot.
Okay, dang, man.
It must have been our herbal medication. How dare we start a podcast in such a fashion? The first one, no
learning
doubt.
curve.
You're going to hear a lot of things on here, people.
Yes, you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, the full moon in Cancer, what are some of the ways we can take care of ourselves and honor ourselves in the full moon in Cancer? And one of the things that came up for me yesterday when I was doing one of my tarot readings, was setting boundaries with draining people. That was one of the things that came up.
Girl.
Setting boundaries with draining people and learning that being a martyr fruitlessly is not taking care of yourself. That when we don't want to be selfish, sometimes the things that we do that burn us out, that is the most selfish thing we can do.
That is the most selfish thing we can do. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, and I am seeing that very clearly in my own world.
I'm going to second that because I had a recent experience. And I'm really feeling you on this.
Yes. And can I add that I'm going to get, like, actual chairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they won't be, like, this is from 1976.
Yeah?
Yeah, which I like.
Listen,
if I'm painting or something.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
What's that one?
Mine would be like...
Mine would be like boom, 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 boom. That's the headboard. If that wasn't
if you were a headboard, yours would be like boom, boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
If I were a headboard,
mine's a little more passionate.
Yours is like Morse code. Do you like this? That I'm doing to you now. Deeper, softer, or less?
Yes. Small, medium.
It's your experience. I'm all yours. And mine's like, bitch, you like this now, right now. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, I do.
Take this dick. Take this dick. Take this dick. Oh, you gonna take this dick.
Well, I don't have a choice.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I always have a choice.
Ladies, you always have a choice.
We always have a choice. I have a very, very healthy relationship. I tell you in the beginning, in the intro, that we are going to deliver this in a form of comedy that is going to be revolting to some.
Yeah.
It does not come without warning. So, like, tune out. If you're not ready, you're not ready, and that's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Come see us when you are.
Or I challenge you to sit through the discomfort.
Oh, that's
and see what shows up for you. Why is this triggering? What's inflammatory about it? Mm-hmm. Like, can you sit through it and sit through the discomfort? Ooh,
yeah.
So stay
Squirm
or leave.
a little bit.
Actually, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Squirm a little bit. Do your breathing.
Started breathing. I started doing my breathing.
And then I was listening to, I was like, what does Amy have? All my animals are in here right now.
Sounds like she just has a baby.
Oh, okay. Do you have a baby? Well, if they're both in here, we could shut the door. You want to shut the door?
Yeah, I'll shut the door.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. You all stay in now.
What do you do? Oh, that's a book. You can't put that. Look this. Thank you. Or that.
Oh my God. I don't even know where they got. No.
Why not, Mom? Okay.
Yeah, so I want to really lean into, speaking of sitting through something uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? And that leads me to, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to show up, right? You're going to sit. So I said, I challenge you to sit through this discomfort. Just backtracking because you helped me with my animals. Mm-hmm. And that leads me into the beauty of uncertainty. And what this full moon is ultimately doing for me is helping me learn how to be comfortable with uncertainty. So we talk about the boundaries with, how staying in alignment with that. How do I do that? Well, I set boundaries with limiting people.
Yeah.
Well, what is that going to do with the relationship? Are people going to think I'm doing enough? Are people, all of those things they're uncertain.
You're right.
And they make me afraid. I can't control that.
No.
So I have a lot of discomfort with uncertainty. I feel very vulnerable in uncertainty. And so one of the biggest things that showed up when I asked, from the tarot card, how can we stay in alignment, and it said set boundaries with draining people. And so then I thought, got me down the rabbit hole. And the biggest theme that kept coming up for me overall for this moon was, what is my emotional thing? So I did a tarot reading on that, and it's a really good one. And I'm debating on posting it on YouTube. It's the one for the full moon. And so it ended up being a full moon reading, and I didn't even know it was going to be a full moon reading.
Wow.
And so then the thing that came up was the 8th house, the house of mystery, Scorpio. And so that is what Cancer, this full moon invited for me, was, okay, so Scorpio rules the house of mystery, rules the 8th house, Pluto's coming in, and then I kept drawing just every single card kept coming back to this theme of death and rebirth, mystery, and that uncertainty. What happens if I let this part of me die? If I dare to visit, if I even dare to visit it, so that I can let it go. Can I even get there? What would that look like? What's going to happen? What's the word? It's being very uncomfortable with uncertainty. And so I thought, so the biggest thing coming up for the full moon in Cancer for me, and maybe this will help our viewers, the overarching theme became being comfortable with uncertainty. And why is that so important?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. And so emotionally, I had to understand what's coming up for me in this full moon is, why is it so important that emotionally I am stabilized through uncertainty. And it's because I have to believe something bigger. I have to believe in contrast. I have to believe that you can't see light without dark. I have to believe that if everything was certain, there'd be no such thing as experience. And if there's no such thing as experience, then there's no such thing as purpose. And so just by very nature, we cannot have experience without uncertainty. And so suddenly, just by shifting that perspective into a higher functioning state, I immediately saw uncertainty as my birthing place. That was my void of course. That was that tarot reading.
Beautiful.
And so that was what I wanted when I said I want to share with you on the podcast.
Yes.
And I said, and I text you, my theme will be uncertain. So by the way, guys, we don't script any of this. We hardly ever will. We've decided that we'll always have a theme or a direction. We'll get derailed a lot. I don't know if we'll end on the theme, but we're doing pretty good staying on track,
we're staying on track
and going back to it. But we have no idea what we're doing. So this is how we talk anyway. We're just sharing it with you. Maybe it will serve you. Maybe it will make you laugh. You'll just get a good laugh, and that'll be healing in itself. So
yes,
we're so cathartic.
Absolutely.
That is a sexy word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say it sexy.
Cathartic.
Cathartic.
Cathartic. So you found a way, but I gotta just finish this really quick. So you found a way to turn your vulnerability into an excitement.
Yes.
How did you leverage that? Is there a way that you can put that into words?
So,
because that is like magic, and I know. I want to know.
Yes. So that's that piece where I come in, and that's where I flipped the script. So that's when I talk about telling a different story,
yes.
that higher functioning perspective.
Yes.
So that's what I leveraged because that was something I already knew to do. That was something I've already coached people on. But, it's the whole healer, heal thyself.
Yes.
I can never seem to apply to myself as easily
as
the things I can easily advise to others to do or see so effortlessly that I can't see it for myself. I put these blinders on.
Yes.
And so I'm working on that. I'm getting a lot better. So I was like, well, what do you know? What advice would you give to someone else right now? And that's what I leveraged. I would encourage anyone to leverage. If you're going through something and you're like, I don't know how to look at this, pretend a perfect stranger or the kindest, most loving person you know came up and told you the same similar experience and you have no relation to it. What advice would you give them? And then I challenge you to ask yourself why you're not worthy of that same advice.
Oh,
and that's what I leveraged.
That's beautiful.
That's how I
Yes,
flipped
girl.
the script. And that's how I became comfortable with uncertainty and saying, okay, I give it to you, Spirit. I don't know what's going to happen. I surrender. I don't feel anything right now, but I trust I'm in this gestation period. And that must be what uncertainty is, because born from that, our dreams, thoughts, ideas. It's why light bulbs went from an idea to filling every room in our house.
Every room in your house.
It was somebody's dream. And
Absolutely.
so, but they didn't know how it would work out.
No.
And so it's just getting comfortable with that uncertainty. And then I realized, well, what an experience, something like the light bulb, to experience that. And then I thought, well, you couldn't have had it without uncertainty. And then I realized you cannot have any experience in this life without uncertainty. Truly, if you really just break it down in its rawest form.
You're right.
You can't.
You're right. I'm thinking here, and I just,
And then suddenly, I was comforted. And that's what was coming up for me for this full moon emotionally. That's what's been bogging me down is the uncertainty, and it comes from my ancestral past.
Yes.
Their need to control.
Yes.
Their need to. So yeah, it does stem from patterns, ancestral patterns, and chains that I'm breaking, cycles that I'm breaking. It stops here. So it is coming up that way, but instead of going through every childhood trauma where uncertainty was railed into me.
Yeah.
Simply just acknowledging that collectively my trauma brought me the biggest vulnerability of all was being scared of uncertainty was enough for me to heal all of it, almost like as a blanket.
I see exactly what you mean.
As soon as I understood everything that encouraged that way of thinking was touched.
Absolutely, I see it.
And illuminated. And then they were given a story, and I pushed them aside, and then comfort could truly set in.
Yes.
And so that's what this full moon invited me to do today.
That's beautiful.
And so I had to really think of that. It took me 2 tarot readings to get to it. But
That's awesome.
I was like, oh man, I'm going to go on this podcast. I'm going to launch the first one on the full fucking moon in Cancer. And I don't know and I'm a spiritual coach. I'm doing all these things. And then I'm like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, well, it is the full moon in Cancer, but what does that mean for me?
Yeah.
And then I haven't even sat down and thought about it. But as soon as I did, I was committed, and I was like, that's it. And then I was like, that's the theme of our show. That's it.
Yes.
The uncertainty. Is born, it's experiences are born of uncertainty. That is my comforting healing. That is what I'm going to lean into in this full moon in Cancer. That's what I'm going to lean into when I go to therapy on Monday. There you go. That's what's showing up for me today.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
not saying it's healed today.
Right.
I'm comforted because I have awareness about it now. I'm comforted because now I have a direction to go to heal it. I'm not saying that recognizing it right now took it all away, but it gave me a path that I didn't even see. I wasn't in a receptive state because I wasn't acknowledging it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of those things. And so this full moon in Cancer invites everybody to try to
dig deep.
Dig deep. And what is yours? Yours doesn't have to be uncertainty. It could be anything. But it was something I haven't wanted to touch for years. Even though for years I've been on a pilgrimage thinking I'm doing something right and I've got these answers, but something was missing. And it's because I was failing to acknowledge something in myself that still needed healing. And there's still much more. Let's get that straight. Yeah. But this is what came up for me today. So I invite everybody listening, what is coming up for you today emotionally in this Cancer moon and this really dense energy. If you can move through it and allow it and just sit with it and just let it be with you, because it's a part of your human experience.
Right.
And then dare to address what comes up. I dare you.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks.
Just managing emotions and
It
just
sucks.
yeah.
But man, is it liberating.
It is absolutely liberating.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to you and I'm like, I probably have that issue or have gone through that perspective, like what you went through with uncertainty. But as soon as you started talking about uncertainty, I was like, man, I live in uncertainty. So I guess I'm cool with that.
I know. Well, that was the thing. I do too.
Maybe I'm not cool with it as I thought I was, because I started thinking about, okay, where's the proof? Is the proof in the pudding? Okay, so where's the pudding? Look at your pudding. And I guess I'm really not deep down okay with it.
Oh, wow.
I find it very frustrating.
Oh, so that's coming up for you right now
So,
on this show.
On this show. So
Ooh,
the
I like
emotions
it.
of feeling frustrated or something that I've been trying to deal with. And I just connected the dots with your experience.
Ooh, see, that's why.
Ooh, how about it?
Ooh, how about it? Catch me outside.
That's awesome.
I love it so
I
much.
love it.
Ooh, that's why you're my unicorn.
That's why you're mine.
I love it.
I love it.
See, guys. Aww.
Aw.
I'm gonna get like how DJs do when you listen to the radio station. Have you done that for a while? Yeah, when you listen to the radio station, they have all those different sounds.
The sound
and they're like,
effects.
yeah, the sound effects. They're like, aww.
Yeah.
Or like when you're watching Full House or something, and they're like, aww. Can we say that on a podcast?
Can we say that?
Can I?
FH?
Yeah, can we say FH? and then like, are there any copyright issues with saying FH?
You think they'd be grateful? We live in a state of
But
gratitude.
yeah, we
on
love
the
you,
show.
FH.
Yes, we love you.
Don't sue us.
Little Mary Kate and Ashley. God bless you.
That's right, free speech. We're not promoting violence.
No.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
feel good.
I love it. Is there anything? This is a quicker podcast. This is just an intro podcast, you guys. This is our very first one.
Very first.
And I thought, what a more special time than now on the full moon in Cancer, the 6th of January, top of the year, 2023. I've had the shittiest last couple of years, but so much growth, so much blossoming that, like, why not start and launch our podcast willy-nilly? We just fucking did it. In my bedroom, with the equipment that we could throw together, and we thought, why not the full moon? The theme that came to me was the uncertainty, but it certainly doesn't have to stop there, you guys. It certainly can just be whatever is showing it. That was just my example, inviting you to find your example, inviting you to find yours. So I'm good with signing out.
I know I'm good.
Okay.